Let's start with a simple question. Why is the Sukhoi Su-57 suddenly back in the spotlight? It's not a new aircraft. It's not its first appearance in conflict. So, what changed? Some people assume it's getting stronger. Others think the West is getting worried. But if you look closer, it's not that simple. What changed is not the aircraft overnight. What changed is how it's being viewed. The Su-57 is no longer just a fighter jet. It's an indicator, a signal, a reflection of Russia's defense industry. And when a system starts being seen that way, attention increases. Not because of fear, but because it matters. The attention increased after intelligence reports emerged. The production network behind the Su-57 started to be mapped. Not one or two companies, dozens, possibly over 100 entities. That matters, because modern fighter jets are not built in one place. No single factory does everything. Engines come from one line, radars from another, sensors from somewhere else. Stealth materials have their own supply chain. All of it is connected. Now think about this. If one small part is disrupted, what happens? Production slows down, testing gets delayed, upgrades are pushed back. Take a simple example, electronic chips. Without specific chips, radar performance drops, sensors lose synchronization, data processing suffers, or composite materials. If quality shifts, even slightly, stealth is affected. Weight changes, performance shifts. These are not minor parts. They are critical components. So when intelligence maps this network, they are not just asking who is involved. They are asking, how does this system actually function? At that point, the discussion changes. It's no longer about the aircraft alone. It's about the industrial foundation behind it. Now we move into a more sensitive area, dependencies. In modern defense industries, no country is fully independent. Even programs like the F-35 Lightning II rely on global supply chains. But there's a key difference: access. Western systems operate within stable networks. Alliances support them. Industrial ecosystems reinforce them. Russia operates under pressure. Sanctions, restrictions, limited access, and that's where vulnerabilities appear. If one supply route is disrupted, the impact is not immediate, but it builds over time. Production slows. Costs rise. Development timelines stretch. This is not direct confrontation. This is systemic pressure, and in the long run, it's often more effective because it's quiet, but it works. Now let's look at the Russian side. Are they stopping? No. Development continues. Upgrades are ongoing. The main focus is on the engine. Why is the engine critical? Because it defines performance, speed, thrust, fuel efficiency, maneuverability. Even stealth profiles can be affected. Then there's avionics. This is the brain of the aircraft. Sensor fusion, data processing, weapon integration. Modern fighters are not just about flying. They're about managing information. And here's the key point. Upgrades don't always change the shape, but they can significantly change capability. So the Su-57 today is not final. It's still evolving, and this is often overlooked. Many comparisons focus on current performance, but what matters is direction. Where is it going? Now let's talk about production. This is where things get very clear. The number of Su-57 aircraft remains limited, not mass-produced, not at the scale of the F-35 Lightning II. That's a fact. But there's another side to this. Low production is not always a weakness. At this stage, it can be a deliberate approach. With fewer units, each aircraft can be studied more closely. Problems can be identified faster. Fixes can be implemented earlier. Risk is easier to manage. It's a controlled process, not aggressive, but structured. And for a system this complex, that makes sense. Now let's look at real-world use. In Ukraine, the Su-57 has been used, but not extensively, not as a frontline backbone. Why? Because it's a high-value asset, limited numbers, high risk. Losing one is not just tactical, it's reputational. So its use is controlled, more standoff operations, long-range engagement, system testing. This is not full deployment. This is evaluation in real conditions, and that matters. Because real data is different, not simulations, not exercises, actual battlefield conditions. And here's the interesting part. Russia gains experience. The West gains observation. Both sides learn from the same situation. Now we address the common debate, comparisons. The Sukhoi Su-57 is often compared to the F-22 Raptor and also to the F-35 Lightning II. That's normal. But is that what drives policy decisions? No. Sanctions are not based on who wins on paper. They are based on controlling systems. The target is not the aircraft. It's the ecosystem, companies, technology, supply chains. The goal is clear. Slow it down, limit it, control its development. This is not emotional, it's strategic. So, where does this leave us? The Su-57 is not a fully mature threat, but it's not insignificant either. It sits in between, still developing, but already relevant. Russia continues its progress. Under pressure, the West continues monitoring, systematically, not reacting emotionally, but not ignoring it either. And this is the key point. This is not about who is stronger today, it's about who is better prepared for tomorrow. Now the question comes back to you. Will the Su-57 evolve into a serious long-term competitor, or remain limited by industrial constraints? There is no clear answer yet, and that uncertainty is exactly why it's being watched. If you have a different perspective, share it in the comments. Let's discuss. If you value this kind of analysis, calm, structured, and grounded, you can support the channel by subscribing and sharing this with others interested in defense topics. Because discussions like this need space. And finally, a brief disclaimer. This content is for analysis and educational purposes only, based on open source information. It does not support any specific side and does not represent any political position. The goal is simple: to provide a broader perspective. That's it for today. We'll continue in the next analysis.